It's tough to win. Everything has to be clicking, on the right week. So just fortunate for me, it was this week it was clicking, and I do feel very comfortable out here at this tournament, even though they keep making more holes forehand friendly.
How stressed out do you get when you're playing for a championship and you know that you're in contention? Do you feel the nerves like that anymore?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely still feel nerves. I don't think they're as bad now as they once were. It's definitely a lot easier to get myself focused and in the mindset where it's just like execute what I've been doing all week. You can't expect to win every week, but being up there all the time and just watching people win definitely does start to wear on you, and it just really feels good to actually pull off one myself.
Calvin is one of the most ruthless competitors in the open division, and yet you don't see anything from him. He'll execute a shot. It's a beautiful shot. It's a shot that almost no one in MPO can execute, and he gives you nothing.
Yeah.
He gives us very little to work off of as commentators because we don't know what he's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And when you hear him on longer form interviews, a lot of times I feel like what he's feeling is nothing. He's saying, yeah, I feel some nerves, but he never dives too deep into anything. He never thinks too deeply about things. And that's a superpower. That's something that not a lot of people can actually tap into.
Absolutely. I think people kind of assume that they know who Calvin Heimburg is because of his lack of display of emotion, but that they're wrong if they don't think that he is a ruthless competitor. And, I noticed something with Calvin when he's in that state that you're talking about, Brian, where he's not really, it doesn't seem like he's thinking about a lot. What I noticed, I don't know if you've ever seen this, the jaw is just relaxed. It's almost like he's got this like Neanderthal kind of just killer like mindset. Like he's going to go out there, throw a spear at a woolly mammoth and bring the meat back. Like seriously, he is a cold-blooded killer. And I see this in Anthony Edwards watching the NBA playoffs, just like he hits the three and he's just like, I'm living for this, It's like the most guttural instincts of being a human being Calvin taps into, and that's how he's able to look at what was that putt, 40 feet with like a 20-mile-per-hour headwind putt. Like a lot of people could have just chosen to lay that one up. Gavin was much closer, and just ice in his veins and just buries it. And when you ask him about it, he's like, that's how I think you should play. Like not everyone has that.
We can learn a lesson from this, not even just in disc golf, but in life, which I guess maybe closely reflects disc golf as well. Calvin simply told you, if I think I can do a shot, if I think I can execute a shot, I'm going to do it. And that is the hardest thing to execute, but a very easy thing to understand. Step up to a putt. Can I throw this shot? Yes. And then in that, there's a level of difficulty behind knowing you can execute something and knowing you can execute something consistently. That putt, how many times out of 10 is Calvin executing that if there's no pressure, if there's nothing on the line?
8 or 9 out of 10, I would say.
You think so?
Circled shallow circle 2. Yeah, with nothing on the line, he probably can just step up and hit that putt over and over again with the pressure mounting and with the circumstances and with all the people around there. That's the difference between someone who's good at disc golf and someone who's a championship disc golfer. That is the difference. That's why our sport is so unique, because it's actually not that difficult of a thing. Once you figure out a good putting stroke, like we've talked about, it's not that difficult to get the putter to fly 40 feet. It's the pressure. That's why golf is golf, and that's why it's like the ultimate challenge is how do you find the way to be yourself? How do you let your body just do the thing you know how to do? Galvin's tapped into it, and other champions have. That's why champions, they tend to resurface because they've figured out that special mindset